pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America, with new courts popping up all over communities. The explosive growth is leading to more injuries. And while you may immediately think of strains and sprains, there is another risk, and that is concussions. And so with me is Dr. Beth McQuiston, neurologist and medical director at Abbott's diagnostics business, and Tom Webb, the chief marketing officer for the Association of Pickleball Players, to share the latest on the craze, and then also how can make sure we're safe when we're playing this. So let's start with you, Doctor. $400 million in healthcare costs due to pickleball related injuries seems startling. Can you share why Abbott and also the Association of Pickleball Players is working together and discussing this issue?
Well, Tom and I are thrilled to be here to honor National Concussion Awareness Day, which is September 15th. And at Abbott, we've helped found Concussion Awareness Now, which is a coalition of over 20 organizations that are promoting safe living and fun living. And one of the things that we do is we monitor trends. And one of the biggest trends that we're seeing sweeping the world is, of course, pickleball.
Thank you, Dr. Beth. I am delighted to be here today to represent the Association of Pickleball Players. We do represent those 50 million Americans and many, many more who are picking up pickleball worldwide. But I think this is an important subject. Overall, we want to make sure that people hear the message and can act on it, that if you're going to play pickleball or take part in any activity, that you're doing so safely and aware of the risks around you.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about how to prevent injuries, but let's just start with Tom. Why do you think pickleball has become such a craze? I mean, I live in New York City and I'm seeing pickleball courts popping up. So what makes it so popular?
Well, New York City is actually one of the hotspots of pickleball. In Central Park, you will probably know City Pickle has a number of courts there on the ice rink there. But pickleball's growth is being driven by, we believe, three primary factors. I think the first one is fun. Everybody who plays the sport says that they have a lot of fun doing so. The APP commissioned some research recently, which has established that over 75% of people who play the sport say that they do so to have fun. So that's really one of the kind of primary drivers. But I think there's two other reasons. One is adaptability. It's a game that you can adapt to very quickly. It's a low cost of entry. And anybody who picks up a paddle finds themselves being able to enjoy a rally, score and win points quite quickly. You can be quite good quite quickly. I will say there's a big step to being a pro from a rec player. But I think the third piece of this is about community. Pickleball is a very, very social sport. You play with a lot of people, but either friends or family, and it's a good place to make new friends. Mm-hmm. So I think those are the three primary drivers, but the number one is about having fun.
Yeah, I agree. I've played before and it is fun, fast paced and very social. So I totally agree with you. So doctor, how can somebody who is either playing pickleball now or would like to give it a try prevent injuries?
Well, the best injury is no injury. And there are simple things that you can do. One, make sure you get enough sleep the night before, and then make sure that you're hydrated, also that you warm up, that you're stretching. And most importantly, don't be a hero. Don't dive for that shot. It's all about having fun without being injured.
And then what kind of signs should people look for in terms of a concussion if they do have a head injury?
You know, what's interesting is if somebody sprains their ankle, they can see that and they can feel that. But with your brain, we sometimes refer to it as an invisible injury when you have a concussion. So things that you need to look out for would be nausea, vomiting, not feeling quite yourself. Sometimes people have balance problems, trouble sleeping. And it's also important to know that your symptoms can start right away or they can start later. So when in doubt, check it out.
Mm-hmm. Let me add also, don't walk it off. If you think you've had some sort of issue on court, or if you're playing any sort of sport or taking part in activity, make sure you go and consult a professional. Make sure you're not trying to just kind of walk it off.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. Is that the next step? Go to an emergency room or talk to your general physician?
Well, I know for the Pickleball Association, they use the National Athletic Trainers, which is fantastic. But if you don't happen to have an athletic trainer on hand, you can go to your local physician if you're feeling very ill, or if you have any vomiting, loss of consciousness, any memory problems, then an emergency room visit may be in order.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Important information while we're having fun and taking care of ourselves at the same time. So thank you so much for joining me.
And then we'd like to direct you to the website, concussionawarenessnow.org or checkyourmelon.com. And please join in the conversation. Go on social and check out #MelonPledge.
And if you want to find out more about pickleball, go to the app.global.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.